Okay, I don't have any comments. So, well, at least I came on. Oh, there we go. Hey Cece, hello. I am so happy that the Mevo worked. I'm like shocked. And I'm just gonna adjust this a little bit because so we can get the full look of what we got going on here. There, okay. All right. Okay, I'm not going to adjust anything else because I got a full thing here. I got this on and it's all working. So hi everyone. Thank you for stopping by and seeing me tonight. I got the Mevo to work and I'm all excited because then I don't have to adjust all this crazy stuff. And you can see my table. And this is what we're going to make tonight. Hopefully I can duplicate this because I made this like 2 months ago, and I don't know, I'm looking at stuff I cut out, I'm thinking, I don't know, it looks a little bit bigger than what I got going on here. Did I adjust it? And I didn't, write it down, but we'll just see and figure it all out. I hope you guys like this. This is a attachment. Now this attachment, this Scarecrow, you can also use the same thing except changing the nose, and I didn't go downstairs and look for a carrot from Dollar Tree store. You can replace this with a carrot, and just use the white fleece. And Christmas on this, you could probably adjust to this. Maybe I'll make one and put it out there to show you how you can make a snowman with it. Same pattern. Okie doke. So we'll get started because I haven't done this in a while and I'm kind of refreshing myself. Pattern pieces are top of hat, bottom of hat, and this is the round piece. And I just use like one of these wood pieces that are a little over 8 inches, close to 9, for my pattern. And then I cut it out with foam board, and then I put on quilt packing for the next layer. And then I use this fleece. You can use any kind of fleece. I got all my material came from Hobby Lobby except for the trim, and this all came from Joann's. I'm sorry, Joann Fabrics. The foam board, I got it at probably Walmart because I haven't been able to get the white from Dollar Tree. They've only had the black. And you cut out your pieces, and then there's also my eyes, and then my nose, and then I'm going to draw on some of the face stuff, and that's where I might have a problem because I'm not really a good drawer. But that will be using magic markers, and since my white paint pens really don't work well on this is just made from felt, cheap felt I got at Walmart. I'll paint on some little squealy dealies there, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It ends up, this is my little model right here that I use for what I was doing. It looks kind of crazy, doesn't it? You can see that this is not my forte as far as painting goes. Nope, Debi is not a painter. You're freezing and go out and come back in. I know, isn't it awful out? God, we had rain. It only says it's 80, but it's like 90 or 100 out there with all the humidity, and it just makes me want to throw up when I walk outside. Okay, so we're gonna get started. Now this is the top of the hat, and I started it, and of course I cut out my foam board, my batting. This is my material, Joann's, and all I do is gather it around and glue it. And that's what we're gonna do. See what I don't know what I got this temperature, if I need it to be lighter or if I need it to be, and usually I start down here where it curves in, and then just push it right in. And I'll be honest with you, I seem to always get material that is not stretchy, and stretchy material when you're making things like this is your best bet. This isn't, this is a woven, so it kind of wants to frail up. And I mean, I guess I could have probably, but I bought it back a couple months ago, so my they didn't have a whole lot to pick from in the fleece. They were just really getting their fleece in. Once you get that glued down, then you can kind of trim around the edge like that. And then we're going to, I'm gonna stick some, let's cut this off a little bit, make it a little bit straighter. Gonna just fold those in and put it back over. You don't really have to do this. You could probably just cut it off because it's gonna go through the lip of the hat. And you're not really gonna see it. But we'll make this neat. So there you go. This is the top part of your hat. Pretty cool, huh? So you can trim some of this away. And then you can always cut a piece of the of this, like what the material is, and after you could cover it once you get it through the hat to show up all anything when it looks messy, you know, you can do that. So now this is the lip part of the hat, and this was cut from this, and I cut 2 pieces of material, and in between it I put the batting, and then I went around the edges with some of the glue and kind of smooshed it together so it stayed together. And then when you put your trim on, that's when you're really going to seal it up. You kind of I did it because it's kind of takes a little bit to do it, but more or less you put it around the edge of this, and when you put your top part on, this part, you kind of seal it up. And you might have some pieces like right here that doesn't look like it's really sealed. Let's see if I can go like that, and maybe you can see better. See, that's not really sealed, so we're going to take a little bit of glue and then press it together. And if the glue comes out a little bit, just take your fingers and squish it. Let's see if we got any more edges. Here's some right here. And that really just seals it all together. So I'm gonna wait to put my hat together until I get this so I can kind of set it on here and see, and we're gonna do the same thing with this. We have got, hello Linda, thank you for joining me for this cute little thing we're gonna make. As I said, this is the foam board. This right here is the batting. And I used like a 8.5 inch round wood to cut out my piece for this. This is fleece, and I got this at Joann's. I'd like it to be a flatter because when I use a magic marker, I don't want it to, I don't know how to explain it, but it doesn't penetrate as well. And this piece is just made bigger, maybe by, I don't know, mine's kind of lopsided. Just enough so you can bring it over, say, an inch. I would do an inch if it's your first one. See right here, I got a little bit bigger, but we will start up here. And I just take my glue and I sling it around here. Then I just bring this up. And with this, it's good because you see now, this stretches. So this is like your perfect material for doing anything. And all the fleece will stretch for you. Where the wovens, they kind of have a tendency to start to come apart. But it just seems like I always see things in the wovens that are like better than I do. And I just take this and just crinkle it just like you're making a little ruffle all the way around this. Real simple. And then if you miss any spots, you can go back with your glue gun. And stick it under there. off here. Just running it right around the edge to keep it on. So then you end up like this, like a nice smooth surface, and that's going to be your little surface. And I'll go under here and I'm just going to press it all down, because you can cut out another piece of the poster board when you're done, just like that, and you can put it over top, cover up any boo-boos that you got that look nasty. And I usually always am camouflaging some of my boo-boos, because I make a lot of boo-boos. Hey, Susan. Hi, everyone. How are you guys tonight? Are you hot? Are you cold? I bet you it's hot where you're at. I'm in Michigan, and it's hot here. Hot and humid. That's what most of our heat is humidity, since I'm surrounded by water. And we're just going to make sure I got this all down so it doesn't come up. Cut some of this off. Where I got a little carried away. Susan, if you're on here, is Susan on here? I got on with Amiibo. And all I did was go back to my original creative therapy thing in there. And I put in new URLs on that. And it let me get on. Yeah, I love it hot too. But I don't know, lately, you know, I used to love the sun. I used to sit on the sun. I hate it. I hate sitting in it. I guess it's because when I was young, I never really sat in the sun. I was either at the lake, I was on the boat, or I was working in my yards. But to just sit out in the sun, it makes me sick. All right, now we have our little head. And now we have to figure out exactly where we want to put our little hat. See, our hat is I'm going to cut a piece, I'm going to cut material right through here, and we're going to stick our hat in there, the top part of it. And I'll have to eyeball this. How much flap do I, because I'm going to bring this, when I bring this down, I'm bringing it where it will, I'll glue it where it comes in through there, where this part will be glued to this right here on the bottom. So let's see if I can get this even. Maybe use an ink pen to do it so I don't mess it up. You don't want me to mess it up. If I mess it up, it means I gotta make another one, and we don't want to do that. Okay. Let me see what I did with this one. How much? I never remember what I do sometimes. It's really awful, because I mean, when I made this, it was like 2 months ago. So I'm like looking for stuff, and I'm thinking, I don't know, this bottom part looks a lot bigger than the one I got here. I'm not sure about that, but we'll just have to see. Okay, so I'm going to draw a little line here, and hopefully it's straight across. If not, we might have like a little drunken scarecrow. I'm just going to puncture that so I can make a little hole in here. Let's get all the way through. Come through. Measure, make sure I got this right, how long I want this to be. Let's actually do this the way you're supposed to do it and have everything not eyeballed. Okay, so I got 6. 6 is in the middle. So I am going to go 3 inches and 3 inches. So that will be right. Yep, I did do it right. here we go. So now this is how our little hat looks. And it looks like I got it pretty even. See, so when it comes through, this is how the back end looks. Like that. So let me see how this looks on here. And you can tilt this any way you want, you know, you can cock it to the side, you can put it in the front. I'll probably end up cocking it to the side. See how that looks. That looks pretty good. So we're gonna glue this down now. And I'm just gonna lift it up here and run it right around that little seam right there, because we're gonna be putting trim around that. And then, oh, that's how I made it look bigger. Okay, when you open it up. Press that down. And now we will take glue. Press that down there. And I will also use some of this glue on it after, but it won't dry fast enough. But after it's all done, you should use some kind of heavy nautical fabric. I don't know, Joann's is kind of, my Joann's, I don't, you know, they were supposed to go in chapter 11, then they're out of chapter 11, so I'm not even sure. So before we flip that up, let's get this, our little trim on here. And this is a trim I got, and this, the trim that I'm using, will be using tonight, is all from Hobby Lobby. I like this because it had a little color in it. And I kind of glued off my side because it was, I didn't want it to fray. And we're just going to work that right around there, sticking some glue back here with it, and then run it right on the seam that I got cut. So now, try to cut this like in one of the little things here so it won't, because it kind of shreds. So you gotta be kind of careful, the ribbons. I'm pressing down so it will adhere to this. I got this turned up a little bit too high. Usually I've got this like on, I don't know, I think it's about 230. So now we've got our little hat here. And I'm going to glue this right down to this. And then, if you want to cover up your mess, you can just you can take this poster board, put it over top, and cover that up, and then just cut it right to the rim. See how that looks? See, and when I put this, we're going to attach this, I am going to, I should have probably cut some of this off, but I didn't. So, I'm going to, this is going to be me up and down, and I'm going to kind of cock mine to the side like this. So I'm going to glue this to the back. Now, after I'm done with this, or after you get this all put together and everything, and you get everything on there, I would advise you taking some of the, this is Stick Fast. You can get this from Amazon. I use this a lot, but it takes a while for it to dry, so I can't put that on because we'll have that stuff everywhere. My finger's stuck to it. Okay, so let me make sure I got this exactly where I want it. And I'm putting it down when I'm gonna glue it, because we have to put hair in and all of that kind of stuff, so I'm not gonna do anything with this. I'm more or less gonna take the board, and I would say that I am, let me get a measuring thing. I would say I'm putting this down probably about 2 inches. Okay, let's see what I did with the other one. Do I got this about right? Probably not. I never do anything the same. Okay, so now let's take our glue, and I'm going to turn this up a little bit because I want some immediate heat. Making sure I got a lot on there. I want this enough on there so it supports this top part so it doesn't get flippy, floppy. Let's just press it down. Okay, so where'd you go? You at the beach house? No, Joanne. Well, this will tell you a secret. Where I live at now, we're all in construction, so it could take me an hour and a half to get 3 exits from my house. So I don't want to go anywhere. I went to go to Walmart on Saturday, and I got on the expressway because it wasn't backed up, thinking, and I went like later in the afternoon thinking that would be good, all of that good stuff, and I came to a standstill, and then I had to get off on the secondary roads, and it was just awful. I'm running this down here all around the edges of this because I want it to really stick. So there we go. There we have our little head there. And we're going to make a little bit of bow right here to put on the side, and I'm going to make it with this. I want to have curly cues. And I'm just taking it and making loops. That's all. Loopy doopies. Hey, Brenda. Brenda. Let's see how many I want to have. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 6, 5, 6. I'll make this longer. Let's go again. just going to tie it in the knot. I get my fingers around all this. What did I do? I don't know what I did. Let me start again. Make sure you got it nice and tight. Oh my gosh. Okay, I gotta turn off my ding dong now because it wasn't ding donging. I said it and I thought I screwed it up. Oh Lord. One moment. It's decided to click in. I set it today and I didn't go through the schedule of the clock. What am I doing? And it wasn't ringing. And I thought, you know what? It'll probably start ringing after Okay. We got this one finally. Okay, I'm just like spreading them out. We're going to put this one down here. And then we're going to put this one too, the orange, and these are all from Hobby Lobby. I thought I tilted that more. I guess not. I guess I had my... Okay, we'll put our head like this. All right. You thought you were in church? No, I'm not kidding you. I thought I did something to it because I didn't go through, you know, it ran out and I didn't realize it. And you're supposed to let it ding dong each time you're turning it because it must have went dead last night. And it wasn't ringing. And I thought to myself, I bet you what will happen is once I start my live, it'll probably start ringing. Yeah, we're in church now. Oof. I'm not sure about that though. Or you can use any type of twiny stuff like this. You don't really have to use this one. I did buy some prettier ones, but it didn't stay too flat. I guess that's what I want to say. It stayed kind of flat. It didn't let me spread it out. Okay, and we're going to put this one on top of this, like that. I don't know what's going wrong with this, but something's happened here. I think I got some of that stick fast when I was gluing in my pumpkin stems. I used both of them, and I think I got some in the tip, so it's not coming out very well. I'll have to burn it out. Okay, and we got ourselves a little, I got these, I think you buy it, they're buttons, I think. I don't know, I have a bag of them. I think I got these at Walmart. They're just little daisies. I wish this would curl more, but it won't. So there we have that. So now we're gonna put, this is just cut out of felt. So let's tip it this way. I put his, I wish I would, why didn't I cock his hat more? So we are going to put his little nose there, and this is just felt from Walmart that I cut out, and I have the pattern for the eyeballs too. And I'm just kind of slanting these in, trying to make sure I got this in the middle part because I got to put his mouth. Let's get all my glue off my fingers so they quits catching it. Then after I put the hair in, that's when I'll close that. Does that look right? Yeah, I guess so. So we're going to glue these down. So I'm kind of slanting the eyes, you know, in towards the nose, kind of. Hopefully I got it in the middle, kind of. And then the nose. And you can use orange. They didn't have any orange, so I had to go with the brown. Okay, now we got this stuck on there. Let's go around the edges of the eyes a little bit more so they stick nice. So when I use that magic marker, it doesn't screw it up. Because we know Debi is not an artiste when it comes to drawing. Hopefully this one will be all right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a line underneath here and just an indentation here with a couple little flecks and down here, and hopefully I can get this right on this felt because it's not very easy to draw on. And we'll put some eyelashes on it. So let's see. Let me make sure I got these right. Whatever. Then we're going to give some eyelashes. And then I'm just going to go across the nose like I'm stitched it on. And if you wanted to, you could actually, you know, put some stitchings on here. Like that. And now we're going to give it some cheek here. give it a mouth. Just a squirrely, curly kind of thing. And because I can't, none of my white pens work. I'm gonna use some white paint just to give it a little bit of outline here in the eyes. Because the paint would not, it wasn't going for it. Okay, so we're gonna give it a little swirl over here. And then down here. So if you use material for this, it probably would go on better. And I think I should have used my other, I think this magic marker was too thick, but I didn't. So. Then we're gonna give him some freckles. Which one I can use that will work right. I don't know if it's this one or the skinny one. The skinny ones don't really work well on the belt. My other one looks cuter than this one. I guess practice isn't. And this is a brown, this is a paint pen. It's those, I don't know, I have a whole bunch of them. I've never really used them and most of them were all dried out. So we're just gonna give them a little bit of freckles. To make them look cute. It does really look cute, except for this here. I'll have to fix that somehow. Now we got to put hair in, and I forgot my hair over here. I got to get my hair. Oh. Raffia. I really despise this stuff because it's so messy. It's like I just used a little bit, and I had it everywhere. It never comes apart like it's supposed to. I mean, I like it in fall stuff, but oh my gosh, it's just awful. Let's get some of this out of here. And let's pull some out. Put some off. So we can stick some in it for its hair. So we're going to put it on each side. And that's why we didn't glue this down, so that we can get the hair up there and then, or what looks like hair. And I kind of like bundle it up so that I can just glue it on one end, more or less like that. Then I'll stick it up underneath the hat. Trying not to burn myself because I got that on high. I'm going to cut some off here. sticking it up there. So we got a little bit coming out of the brim. This stuff like grows. It's like it becomes everywhere. I'll be finding this shit in here for a week. Oh, didn't mean to say that. This stuff. And we're going to put a little bit more in here, just so we can, let me see without, yeah, that looks good. And then we can press it down with the hat to hold it down. And we'll cut it off. What we don't want. Try to separate those so they don't. Give it a little haircut. Okay, so let's find some more for the side. I do love this stuff when I see them done at Wreaths and it's all hanging down. That one guy that was at Sims, he worked with this stuff and he made it just look really beautiful. And I never could figure out how he did it because mine never quite looked like that. I always look messy. Messy, messy. So, let's see. Let's go this way. Let's stick it here and then stick some little ones over there. I don't know, maybe if I double it. Telling you, it's like working like an octopus. Yeah. I'm going to put some glue up there and I'm going to stuff this stuff up there. Try to separate it so it doesn't look like it's all globbed together. I guess I could have done it each one individually, but you know, I wouldn't do it that way. No, no, no. Debbie doesn't like that. We've got us some more. Yeah, this is not my favorite stuff. I do like the looks of it though. Okay, let's see what we got going here so I can see how much of his hair needs to go. Clumping some off, give him a little haircut. Now I just want a little bit to put up by his eye. So it looks like he got a little bit of a bang, but really not. I can do that without it looking clumpy. Give him some little pixie bangs. Yeah. I'm just gluing now and gluing this all down so it'll adhere the hat with the glue. See, and then once you got this all kind of glued up, you could probably use a little bit more. Oh yeah, let's just get this stuff everywhere. We love it. Yeah, that's enough now. See, and by gluing this down, the hat on top, it makes this part here where you won't, you know, like when you go to put an attachment on, you want it to be smooth. I guess that's what I'm going to say, smooth. So then he looked like this. This is our little thing. Now, also, you know, and if you want to do I can't really put the other pieces on because I do want to glue this down really good, but I don't want to put that glue on there because it will just be, it will, it has a tendency to run and you gotta hold it. Yeah, it does go everywhere. I find it all over. I will find this stuff everywhere, sweeping it up. See, so when you're done, you can cut out a piece here, put it on here to cover up your messiness, like this. Then you can cut another one just of the, and put it over top of here to cover up anything that you don't want people to see. And with it, you can do just like I did on my other ones. I'm trying to glue this down here. I cut holes in this and I glued get the right colors. I glued these by going, you know, like this, cutting them through, gluing them down really good, so then you can attach it after you put it through this. And then it covers it right up. And then you end up with this. I hope you guys like this. I'll have a pattern with the pieces on what to cut out. And he is kind of cute. Although I'd say I should probably get some magic markers that are fine point, but I had the fine point and it didn't really even, it wouldn't on this fleece. It was like, I was making a mess of it. That's why I used the other one, but I don't think, I think I used the other tip. That's why. So this is what you have for tonight. I want to thank everyone for stopping by and watching this. I will show you how to do a snowman like this. I mean, you could use this. I guess I'll have to do a Santa head. I can do a Santa head too to show you how to do that with a Santa. But for a snowman or you could use the same pattern for that. Thank you. Bye, everyone. Thanks for stopping by.